welcome back to another episode of the Light Side Podcast. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you so much for joining me and spending time with me. I just came to record and I felt so much excitement. So again, thank you for being here. I want to talk about purpose today. What if you wholeheartedly knew that your highest path, the most uncomplicated and perhaps the most joyful way of living your life is the same as stepping into your truth and living your life with purpose? I think a lot of times we talk about our purpose as if it's finding our mission, like the main character of a movie. And that can be the case for some, of course. But what I've learned in my journey of finding my passion and stepping into what feels to be my purpose, and what I've gathered hearing others share as well, is that our purpose is less about what we do, because it can be so multifaceted and it can evolve and grow and change, but it's more about how we do what we do. And I even thought about it right when I began to record this episode that, I never saw podcasting, nor do I still see podcasting as if it's my purpose. It's how I get to do it. It's the intention behind it. The medium that I get to share messages that really required me to overcome my fear of speaking into this microphone. And similarly, when I think about when I worked in corporate America for 12 years, I don't think that I wasn't in my purpose then. I was still doing things that I enjoyed. I was very present. I would get very focused. And I think it was about doing what I was finding exciting and meaningful. And I was learning and growing. And I think the more I think about our purpose, the more I align with it being in the energy of flow, of learning and expanding. I feel each and every single one of us thrive when we're learning, because we're intelligent beings and we're meant to evolve, we're meant to learn. Similar to how movement is required for us to flow and have momentum and keep growing, it really is the same notion. It stops us from getting stagnant because we're present and we're in tune and we're listening to the nudges. We are listening to what the present moment is showing us, teaching us. I think purpose really feels like excitement, maybe even fear. You're being pulled to explore, to see what's in store for you. A lot of times we find ourselves liking something and sticking to it, which is how expertise is built. And it's a great thing, but we are creative beings. And if each time we feel called to something, we suppress it, how would that nudge continue to show up for us? Sure hope it continues, but it may get quieter, it may get weaker, and to the point where we might start to miss it because we get used to suppressing it. So I feel finding our purpose is ongoing in the sense that we don't want to be so comfortable with what we enjoy doing so much so that it becomes automatic or like autopilot, that we miss the hints, the nudges, the pulls. Almost inclined to go as far as saying that our purpose is the present moment, where the power of all creation is in this moment, is where we channel, where we get our best ideas, where we're able to see life for what it is, for how magnificent it truly is right before our eyes. Because when we're truly present with life, we can be in awe with every single moment, with how the trees sway, with how the wind works, with how the ocean waves collide, with how the birds sing, with how the grass grows, with if you've ever planted anything or if you have a plant, it leaves you with awe and how beautiful life really is. And so I think that's where we can find our purpose, is in the present moment, where it becomes our purpose or the path to our purpose through the creativity that we can tap into, through the energy that we tap into in the here and now. There are certain things that we feel is for us because we experience the ease and how things fall into place and happen. We don't have to force it. And I don't mean putting in effort or action, because that is key. But the things that you act towards and do come easily to you. They're an extension of you. You're not only enjoying doing them, but you're also good at them. Then there are also things that are hard. They don't come easy to us. It doesn't mean we shouldn't do them, though. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't try. It's definitely not a sign that it's not for us or not in our purpose. It's just that it gets to be even more exciting because you get to grow with this one. You get to really dig into what's holding you back from getting better or trying in the first place. It's where you deepen your relationship with yourself, where you build rigor, tenacity, consistency, self-control, and discipline. It's where you're strengthening the muscles of your mind and keeping your brain healthy through teaching it new things and keeping yourself feeling alive and excited. It is so important for us to pursue what makes us feel alive, aware, and in tune, to see what's in front of us, hear the words spoken, feel the energy of what is said or unsaid, and live in the present moment. Because then we'll see a plan for our existence. You'll see the plan unfold through your participation with it, making the most of your time here. And unless we're tuned into the here and now, we might miss it. For so many of us, we're physically present, yet mentally in the past, rethinking what was said or done, or in the future, we're anxiously waiting or worrying instead of just simply being, seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting in the present moment. Not in our most recent conversation with a friend or deep in thought, having potentially missed everything that you were just experiencing or seeing on your drive home, wherever you might be. But the truth is, you were born on this planet, a part of trillions of other galaxies with billions of human beings just like you here on Earth in a miraculous human body. You're here to do what feels exciting and good to you. Not just what you're told or should do, it's doing things that make your heart expand and smile, bringing your being to life in this moment. And even if you're doing what you are told you should do, doing it with your full presence, with all of you, not in anger or frustration or in thought of like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but actually be with it. Be with what you're doing. If you're doing the unconventional, walking the path you may be scared to walk, your courage and bravery in taking that step will naturally lead to and allow doors that are in your highest good to open up for you to walk through. Despite what anybody says, if you feel pulled and called to something, there's something for you. When we begin living with more purpose and step into the path the universe has laid out for us, everything about our experience tends to feel at more ease too. It's like when you're watching a dance and the rhythm is in synchronicity with every step the dancer takes, and the steps just fall into place, creating the motion that you're watching. In this context, the motion is your life, with the dance moves being the actions you're inspired to take. It feels like the universe is waiting for you to knock. The doors begin to open. It's the universe encouraging you to do more of what you're doing, to continue on your path. When you experience resistance or things are just really, really hard, the message the universe might be giving you is to take stock, to think about your intention. Where is it coming from? What's the feeling you're leading with? Not for feeling shame or disappointment in yourself, but for awareness, to dig into your beliefs. Are they in alignment with what you're doing? Are your feelings in alignment? If you're willing and you do some of the work when the resistance may come up, it may steer you in another way. There's a popular phrase by Brian McGill. He says, rejection is redirection and redirection is protection. Chances are that path wasn't going to bring us the utmost fun and joy anyway. Similar to dancing to the rhythm of another song, it feels uncomfortable, unnatural, and just out of place. So I recognize that many of us are doing what we're doing to make a means to an end, and what makes sense for income and livelihood. And many of us are also on autopilot. I totally know, I'm with you. We all need money to support our basic human needs. Beyond that, even I'm a big proponent of ambition and wanting more than just basic needs to live comfortably in abundance. There's a really sticky message that I want to drive home is that many of us tend to laser focus on surviving to the point where living gets pushed to the side. And in living in the present moment is where we receive the hints, the nudges, the pulls, the excitement. Not when we're deep in our thoughts while we're doing something, but when we're practicing presence with everything that we do. This is where the how comes into play, because the how is what makes the difference between someone who is living in their purpose versus someone who is feeling misaligned. Luckily, we can apply our purpose to anything that we do every single day. And that is where I'm hoping and intending to challenge our thinking around our being, our beingness. What if we dared to take our existence up a notch and shift from just existing to being, from surviving to living? Instead of opening our eyes each morning, waking up every new day with persistent joy, feeling an innate drive from our being, that today is going to bring with it exciting opportunities, that today is going to bring with it new insights. Because in our presence, when our presence is with us, we observe new things. We feel more encouraged. We feel more motivated because we're looking for what's next instead of just expecting what we think will happen. Because each moment, even if you're doing the most repetitive task, can be different. In fact, it is different. Every moment, even in the most mundane task that you do, is different than the last. What if you too could be in your power, excited for your next move, to follow your next instinct? I know that you deserve all of it. You're entitled to living your life with your purpose, to living with happiness and feeling satisfied, fulfilled, at peace, and at ease in your life. It's how you and I, how we were all born to partake in this human experience with our full potential. For many of us, our upbringing has brought with it many limiting beliefs and conditions instilled within us. We carry these conditionings throughout our lives, feeling like a victim of reality. But that reality is constructed in our minds. That is the most liberating part of life, that we can change our reality through our perceptions, through our beliefs, effectively so as well. If anything I aim to share with this episode is this: by aligning yourself and what you're doing daily to the present moment, even in your daily tasks at the office, to being here with what you're doing, to tune into what excites you with your presence and awareness, you bring the magic of what makes you uniquely you into the world. And by doing so, elevating the energy of the collective. When we're doing what we're doing with our full presence, I'm a believer that we bring joy. And it can transform what we're doing to what we end up loving doing, because our presence brings us into alignment with ourselves and out of our ego. Our energy is at a higher vibration, and that naturally makes an impact to the collective, something that so many of us desire and aspire to, right? We want to make an impact. What if your presence in what you're doing right now, no matter how mundane you think it is what creates a ripple effect, impacting the collective vibration and elevating each other, all of us? Because if it isn't our energy at an individual level that makes up the collective, then I'm not sure what is. I know this episode is unlike the others in format. I didn't list out any recommendations and suggestions on how to find your purpose or become more present, but I think that it was necessary to also insert a short message like this. I felt called to. I'd love to hear from you, any of your thoughts or recommendations, suggestions. I am so grateful to have you here with me today. Thank you for sharing your time. And until next time, I send you tons of love.